parametric method or non-parametric method, you know exactly what to do, as we are going to see shortly. So let me go to now SPSS so that we import our data and begin straight. And if this is your first time to see our channel, please, with a lot of kindness, we request you to subscribe so that you don't miss any of our content in the near future. And the computer is somewhat slow, but please let us be patient as we open the SPSS program. Yes, it has opened. Now, for us to import our data, we go to File, then you click Import. Then no, you don't. You hide. Then we go to Excel. And then now this is now indicates where my Excel file was, SPSS presentation, which was in the desktop. So the file I want to use is JC East Africa Limited Data. So I click and then open. So we are waiting for the SPSS to load. So that's loaded. So this is a preview and everything. So I say yes, okay, and you are going to wait a little bit as we find our files in SPSS. So it is going to open. As you can see, this is our file now in SPSS. So immediately you are supposed to go to variable view so that you are able to put on the variables. Most students start transforming the variables without assigning the values. If you don't assign, you don't get accurate data. So we are going to set the variables which now form the basis of our Likert scale. So we said one is for strongly disagree. We had two, we said disagree. 3, undecided. So this is how you make your Likert scale, and then if you enter, and then now 4, we have agree, and then 5, strongly agree. So now you say okay. Now you've finished entering the Likert scale variables. Then now we have to make sure that all these are reflecting across the 22 parameters. You simply come and paste here, simply come and paste here, come paste, you paste here, you paste, continue pasting. When doing SPSS, you have to be patient with the time. I've seen students who are so much quick. If you come with a lot of expectations in SPSS and in hurry, you get long data, and therefore you have yourself to blame. So you have to be methodical in everything you do, as I'm doing here. Be patient. The process is somewhat tedious, but you have to get it correctly, especially if you are a postgraduate student and you want to, or even undergraduate student, and you want to excel in this field, because it's very somewhat difficult if you do not get the means, and you don't need to pay people to do your research. So let us see whether this has picked. You can see now what I've entered has picked. This is how the data is seen on the data view. You can see now how people were answering the questions, and yes, that is that. Then I can return to numbers. Now the next step is to transform the variables, because we said we find that 6 questions were testing one parameter. For us to be able to analyze the data, the first step is to transform this variable. So for you to transform, you go to transform, then compute variable, then you can write here transform, for example, workload. Then you come here, you say all, then you find mean. Where is mean? Mean is here. So you click mean and then put it that way. Then you are going to delete this. So then you will double click this and separate it by a comma, like this. Separate by a comma, this. Don't know why it's not working. Let me see, let me tap it by a comma, in this by a comma, separate by a comma, separate by a comma. Then the last one, you don't separate it by a comma, you leave it like this, then you click OK. So we've transformed the first variable. Now we go to the second one. This is work conflict. Now this one, so we come and read here, and then we click this one, separate by a comma, we separate by a comma, by comma, 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 comma. No, this is the last one. We don't put comma, then you say transform. That is okay. There's a problem here. Change an existing variable. Oh, this is and this one. Now I forgot to change. Remember, every time you have to change. So now the SPSS has to sense. Now it's okay. Then we go to the next one, compute variable. Now we are going to work ambiguity. So we say work ambiguity here, and then we delete this, and then work ambiguity starts here. Separate by a comma, separate by a comma, 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 comma. The last one we don't use comma, we say okay. And then now we go to, this is work ambiguity. Now we are going to employee performance, so we can say transform EP, which is employee performance. Then we delete this. So I want you to see how we use the SPSS to transform our variables. Very important. So you click here, then you separate by a comma. Sorry, you separate by a comma. You separate by a comma. And this is the last one. We don't separate by a comma, so we say okay. So now we have finished transforming our variables, and what we need to do is to check our this aside. You can see here we have the transformed variables. This transformed workload, transformed work conflict, and work ambiguity, and then transformed employee performance. So these are the ones we are going to use to see where they are coming from. A normal distributed data. So there we go to let me first of all start. We go to analyze the descriptives, then explore, then you highlight these ones to your independent list. You remove this one. You have to check whether this is coming from a normal distribution. That's basically what we are doing. So you uncheck this one, use histogram, and then normality, plots with the test, and then you click OK, and then you say OK. You wait for SPSS to generate the output, then you'll be able to read and see whether the result is what we need. So when you are testing for normality, we need variables not to be statistically significant. Now we have it here. We have case processing summary. So you know the respondents were 60, as you can see. We have percentage none missing. We have descriptives. This is very important, but for us, maybe we can be able to talk about skewness and kurtosis. Before even you see the table for normality, you can be able to know from this skewness. If you divide these statistics by standard error and you get a figure between minus 1.96 and plus 1.96, then that shows that your data is coming from a normal distribution. So, and the same for kurtosis. We go down. Now we use this to test for normality. So this one is the one that can show you without going to the calculation of skewness and kurtosis. So if you want to check your data whether it is from a normal distribution, then this is expected not to be, we want it to not to be normally not significant. So if we see the first one for workload, it is significant. The second one is significant. The third one not significant, and the fourth one not significant. But we want all of them not to be statistically significant. So that means our data is not normally distributed. It's not from a normal distribution. Our data does not come from a normal distribution. Now what we do, we go to, we now do, we log, we do a transformation that is powerful one using logarithm to base 10. Logarithm to base 10, so that we see if this data will be transformed. So we go to log to base 10, then you bring it up that way. We remove this one. Now what we are going to do, let me go, we are going to log workload. So we just, and then we say that it's okay. Then compute, and then the next one is workload. Then we move this way, then compute. Then we are going to work ambiguity. Then we click this and do that, and then now we are going to improve performance. So AB, then we move this, and then use this one. As you can see, the file is being generated here.